to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we live in different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes. They gonna take
this is what we gotta tell.
Every fan doing this.
I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
I didn't even know if y'all could hear me because I had no microphone in. All right, so unless it's a dominant, it's like, I don't know. I think the Texans could have played better against the Chiefs if they had all of their weapons on offense. They were a depleted offensive team. They only had pretty much one receiver, one running back, and their quarterback. So, they were very limited against the number one defense. So again, it wasn't much the Texans were going to do against the Chiefs. However, the Chiefs got exposed a little bit. Their schedule wasn't the toughest all season. They only lost one game. They didn't play great, but they didn't play horrible. They made some good moves against the defenses that they play. Again, they didn't play great defenses all season, so their season was it was what it was for who they played against all year. They got the number one seed out of it, and then they lose in the Super Bowl. They lost in the Super Bowl because this today is not FFC. Today is the Howie Roseman Show. Look, 2 years ago, he lost the Super Bowl. The Eagles lost to the Super Bowl to the Kansas City Chiefs. Jalen Hurts played his best football in that game, right? 343 yards, I believe it was, 3 touchdowns. I don't even think he had a turnover in that game. If he did, it was maybe one. But he played MVP level football, and he lost to the Chiefs. Now, then the Eagles didn't have a good running game. The Chiefs had a better offense that time than they did this time. But remember, that score was still close. Remember, it was Jalen Hurts still had 3 touchdowns. You see what I'm saying? So it was still a great game, even though they lost. So you got 2 years removed, right? You lose Super Bowl, you have a good draft, like right after. Like he had Howie Roseman robbed the draft that year with the way he built that defensive line. And then he comes in the next year. Mind you, they go to the NFC Championship game, they lose. So mind you, this is 2 years since the Super Bowl, a year and a half, 2 years since the Super Bowl, right? And or two years collectively. You had the Super Bowl year where you lost, and then the next year you make it to the NFC Championship game. Like that's your exit. So you're not doing bad, Eagles. You're doing absolutely terrific. You get AJ Brown. That offensive line is the best offensive line in football. You turn around and you get Saquon Barkley while you're still grabbing some of the best players in this year's draft this year. So you put together in 2 years, quite possibly the best football team we've ever seen. The Eagles walked around all year just running over people with no anguish, with no aggression, just smart football, great football. That's all they did. That's all they did all season. To the point you got AJ Brown, he didn't have a great game, but he became a supportive teammate out here reading books on the sideline. Like, this team was made to be a champion, right? So if they lose, what now? What can you possibly do now if you lose? Here's the story that wasn't going to happen. Josh Allen can't beat Patrick Mahomes. He cannot beat the Chiefs. Josh Allen can't do it. No matter what obstacle you put in front of him, he'll hurdle it. He'll throw 5 touchdowns, run for 4 touchdowns, but he can't beat the Chiefs. We were not going to get that same storyline with the Eagles. It just wasn't. We're not going to have a man run over one player and then in the Super Bowl you're just undefeated against this player. We can't have that. Eagles weren't going to allow that. This is why they're 1-1. Okay, they have not played each other since when? The Super Bowl. So this was round 2. There was no in between. They only have seen each other in Super Bowl. Ain't that crazy? I love that. I love a storyline like that. So that's why the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl, because they were not going to be another headline like Josh Allen. Wasn't going to happen. So with the way they put this team together, the way they got Saquon Barkley, it was you could say it was inevitable. Some people didn't believe it was going to happen. I actually thought if the Bills somehow did get past the Chiefs, I thought the Bills would actually beat the Eagles and win the Super Bowl. Here's the problem. They can't get past the Chiefs. This is why I had the Eagles winning it. Okay. I had the Chiefs in the Super Bowl all season. The only other team I think I had outside, Eagles were third place, but I had Green Bay at first until the injury started taking a toll on them. I had to let that go. Detroit, but golf shows us what golf shows us. He is not dependable in the playoffs. What did I tell you? So now, hold on. Because, coach get this time to air some things out, right? Because I got beat up for laying out Golf's contract. Like, I did not think he deserved that contract. Don't care what people say. I really don't. Golf has a limit to his game, and you will not win a Super Bowl with limits to your game. I'm just saying, okay? So you paid him all this money. Your receiver got paid. All these people, your other running back got paid. So there's a lot of money being spit around, okay? And that defense keeps taking a nasty hit every year. But golf is going to be the one that propels you to victory, Detroit. It's funny. Each year you've legally climbed into each bracket. Like you were at the top, right? And then you fail with golf. What you think will happen next year? What you think gonna happen? You guys think you're gonna have the best season? I almost guarantee you the Detroit Lions get one of the hardest schedules this year. They're not gonna be 10, 11 win team. They're gonna be 9 or 10 wins, but I almost guarantee you they're gonna have one of the hardest schedules. Here's why. One, you see that division that they're in? Bears are gonna be a little bit better next year. Bears still might be in 4th place. They got another young quarterback, guys. It's just the rotation that's got to happen. But you got the Vikings up there. Okay, all right. Sam Darnold didn't play his best football. We got Sam Darnold football in the playoffs. But let's be real. He carried that team. But let's be real. The 2 teams that were actually tough that they played against, they lost. That's why they had 2 losses. So therefore, had an easy schedule. But McCartney is gonna play next year, most likely. He'll take his job, and if they're better for it, that's another team they got to deal with. The Packers are going to be better, so that's a division right there that's going to be good in itself. Detroit, you're winning 3 to maybe 2 games out of that division because you could fall 3 because you might split with everybody. And if you win 4, it's because the Bears are that bad, and that's when you got the leg up, and that's understandable. But outside of that, right, you're already sitting at 3-3 in the division, 4-2 or 2-4. That's right now what you're sitting at in that division. If you're 4-2 in the division, you're okay. Let's be real, you're okay. I just don't think that's what you're gonna be. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of great games. Like so Gibbs had 20 touchdowns this year. I'm not touching him in fantasy next year. I say he goes half or gets a quarter more, like quarter less. Meaning he could get 15. That's not bad, but I feel like he'll get 10, 12. I feel like he's going to get 10, 12. I don't think Detroit's putting up all the points that they put up there. They put up a lot of points this year and got nothing for it. So I don't think what we saw in Detroit this year is going to repeat itself next year. I do think they take a bit of a dip. I just the NFC is getting a little tougher. You know what I mean? Like they're coming up really, really well. You got to deal with Baker Mayfield over there in them wonderful. And you know what they're gonna do for Baker this year in the draft? Tell me what you think. I know exactly what they're gonna do. First of all, they're gonna get that defense right. Obviously, they're gonna go get another receiver. They're gonna go get Baker a young boy. Yes, they really are. They have to because you don't want to put all this stress on an aging Godwin and Mike Evans. Okay, they're gonna play again great this year, and I might, depending on their season, depending on who they're playing, we could have a strong Bucks team in playoffs. Again, okay, because I got Ty Bowles in the playoffs again. Jesus. So, but they're gonna get this guy some help. That's what's gonna happen. So for Detroit, it's just going to be looking like that contract for Goff was just not well spent. It just wasn't. I mean, look. Let's be real. I said the contract for Kirk Cousins was stupid, didn't I? I said it was a stupid contract. Why would you pay Kirk Cousins all that money? What do you think Kirk Cousins is going to do for you? I said Kirk Cousins in fantasy was great. Why? For one, if you get him in the 10th round, you have a viable backup quarterback in Kirk Cousins because of the viable weapons that he has. However, who was I big on in Atlanta because of Kirk Cousins? The tight end, which I said, if he goes off, it's because Kirk Cousins was tight end. He finally got somebody throwing the ball. He didn't go off. So what did that mean as well? He trashed. They wasted that pick. It's time to let that dude go. Outside of him, who had a great season? Bijan Robinson. Darnell Mooney. I was screaming Mooney all season. And Drake London proved he is a number 1 wide receiver. He just needs a great quarterback. Could Atlanta have gotten into the playoffs? Yeah, they had a stump in the win, but I don't think they needed to do all that stupid quarterback changing that they did. That's what kicked them out. That's what did that. You pay that man all that money, you might as well have let him finish out the whole season, bro. Like, what was that? That was stupid. That's why you got knocked out of the playoffs very easily, because you should have been in. Even if it was in the wild card, Atlanta, you should have been in there. Like, that was what you guys did to Kirk Cousins and how you ended your season was absolutely ridiculous. However, the weaponry there was substantially better because of Kirk Cousins and his adequacy at throwing the ball. But, buddy, that didn't mean you need to pay him money. Whoever his agent is, God, he's got to have 3 islands by now because he gets paid, bro. He gets that quarterback paid. I don't know what he does in that office, but wow. Wow. So those are 2 contracts that I did not think they were deemed necessary. Like, I just didn't think those 2 guys needed contracts. I didn't call them bad quarterbacks. They weren't contract quarterbacks. They just weren't. Now you got all that money sitting on what? Nothing. You exit. One didn't make it to the playoffs. One exited out of the playoffs. He turned into who he was. You got a rookie quarterback in the playoffs, almost heading to the Super Bowl. Like, that's right there is where I get a little bit frustrated with young talent because, again, right, I will hold it to the fire when you got guys like Mark Sanchez, when you got guys like Matt Ryan, Joe Flacco, who go into the playoffs within their first and second year. And mind you, Matt Ryan and Flacco, they were in the playoffs every year since their rookie year until one won the Super Bowl and one got paid. Who got paid first? Matt Ryan got paid first. And guess what happened? They didn't make it to the playoffs anymore. They were struggling to get to the playoffs with all that money sitting on their quarterback. Yet everybody doubted Flacco, who was in the playoffs every year since his rookie season, to the point I had to bring up this fact that at that time, there was only one quarterback in the lead to catch up to Tom Brady playoff numbers of winning in the playoffs. And that's Flacco. Because Flacco was in the playoffs every single year since his rookie season up to where he won a Super Bowl. Because you know who knocked him out of winning a Super Bowl? The Patriots. Or, if I'm not mistaken, Peyton Manning for the one that he won against Chicago. So, dun-dun-dun-dun. Then Flacco got paid. Yeah, then he got paid after he won a Super Bowl. Matt Ryan ain't got no Super Bowl. He got a lot of money, but he ain't got a Super Bowl. I'm just saying, I would rather the ring. I'm sorry. Brady got 6 of them with one team and never had a great contract. He was never one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. He actually did not become one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league until he took a 2-year contract for $60 million, guaranteed, fully guaranteed, with the Bucs, and won a Super Bowl with them. Go figure. But before that, never had a contract, never had a big contract. Always took a pay cut. They always kept a defense, didn't they? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Think about this. The one time that they actually even got a receiver, they lost. They went undefeated, and then they lost. He won all his Super Bowls with guys. Money isn't everything if you want to be a winner. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I get it. Young boys want to get paid. That's all y'all want. Y'all just want to get paid. But y'all ain't putting in no work. Go look at the NBA and this subpar basketball that's being played. You people, I know this is a football show. I do. But I have been seeing some things in the NBA that has been cringy. And I mean cringy. How do you trip over a rope and you out 3 games? How you get poked in the cheek and you out 4 games? You guys are not. There is no way you all can defend this softness in the NBA right now when star players can barely average 25 points a game. Barely average. When you had GOATs, okay, remember we used to fight on the court back in the 90s, right? So you had GOATs, right? That was averaging 27, 31. When the last time you seen somebody average 31? And I ain't talking about a Jokic. I'm talking about when have you last time you seen a shooting guard or power forward, small forward averaging 31 a game and being that guy? When the last time you seen it? 21 is what make y'all great now. 21 is what get y'all paid. Unless you flinging threes all over the place like Curry, you people are either hurt or like my boy say, on Instagram. Y'all selling these daggone points, bro. Y'all selling the numbers because it's really bad. Like, why do you have star players sitting a whole fourth quarter? Why? What are you sitting down for? You play a national basketball game for a league that gets paid all this money, and you sitting for the fourth quarter, you hurt? Hockey players don't even get paid this kind of money, and they out here beating the brakes off each other for the fans and the passion of this is how this sport is ran. What happened to how the way basketball is ran? Because that hot garbage of an all-star game, that was terrible. That was terrible. You telling me during the game of basketball, Mr. Beast is out here doing a game show? Really? Really? Come on, man. What happened to the sport? Hey, yo, Shy, you my guy. You my guy. You got Kevin Hart out here yapping. Hey, man, hey, hurry, like, come on. Like, this is where we are now. This is where we are with basketball. I dare football. You notice I don't talk nothing. I don't talk nothing about that garbage. What does the NFL got now? Pro Bowl. Nope, we don't talk about the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl ain't the Pro Bowl no more. The Pro Bowl is a placard paper that puts a bunch of people's names on it based off their stats. I can get that off Google. I am not finna turn on my TV and watch you people start throwing Nerf balls into tires. I can't do it. I can't. Bro, I can go to Main Event and go do that and pay $20 and have me a fun time with the children. You think I'm trying to turn on my TV and see that hot garbage? What happened to the best of the best lining up in front of each other and showing me and showing you we bought that life in football? Like, what happened? Too much money. Too much money happened. Everybody crying about a contract. Everybody crying about getting hurt. You play a sport that's supposed to beat your body up. You crying about getting hurt. I don't know what happened to the sport. I really don't. I don't know what happened to sports in general. It has become very soft. It really has. Not the Eagles. As you see, Howie Roseman said, we ain't about that life. We about that strength. And they built a line stronger than I've ever seen. They have the strongest offensive line. They have the strongest defensive line. They have a strong unit as an organization and a fan base. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles on winning another Super Bowl. They got one with my boy Nick Foles, and now they got one with Jalen Hurts. Hey, I love it. Now, what's going to happen moving forward? We have to do better here on FFC. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not have a wonderful season. I didn't. From leaving Disney and picking up that job at Flanagan's and not having any time for anything, and then moving to a new job, trying to transition as a wonderful cook and chef where I'm at now, which allows me to get this time back. I'm making some changes so that FFC can have a stronger season moving forward. I did not give you guys a lot of episodes this year due to time. Coach was tired a lot working at that other job. So for next year, we're going to have a lot better organization, a lot better segments. We're going to do a lot better with getting you guys the information like we did in season 1, because season 1 was amazing. And so season 3 needs to be even better, which it will be. Coach is going to be here for the foreseeable off season. I want to give you guys an every other week date only because there's not much really going on right now. However, there is enough that we can discuss every other week to get us ready for next season via fantasy. Getting ready for the draft, like I said, that's coming up here real soon. When we talk about guys that go through free agent frenzy, the importance of that and how it pertains to fantasy football, and trades that should be happening, I want to say right before free agency frenzy. There are going to be some trades that happen here and releases. Pay attention to those NFL releases. Who's getting released? Let's see. What do we have here? Our next segment is that's what. Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, let me see something. Because as coach, we always have to go to the numbers. That's the most important thing. We want numbers because we being lied to. Let me see. What's good, Jose? How we doing, my boy? All right. So, come on now. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's do it this way. All right, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. So we need to go to the NFL scoring leaderboard because we have some numbers to discuss. Here's what I will not do. I'm not congratulating Josh Allen on MVP. You understand how disrespectful that honor was this year? Okay. Before we even look at Josh Allen, right? Before we even look at Josh Allen, there are, on the count, I want to make sure I get my numbers right. There are one. Gino, you still put that. You still be proving my point, Gino. You still be proving my point. All right, so we got Gino. That's one. Pat, but we're gonna go. We're gonna leave Pat out. We're gonna go Gino. We're gonna go Sam Darnold. We're gonna go Jared Goff. Right. We're gonna go Baker Mayfield, Joe freaking Burrow. Okay, who is sitting at the highest right now? Okay, and Lamar Jackson. Now, the significance of each of the players that I mentioned, right? The significance of that. Those players all have over 4,000 yards. Every single one of them. Now, check this out. Bo Nix. Kyler Murray. Patrick Mahomes. Brock Purdy. Aaron Rodgers. Matthew Stafford. All those players have significance. Because all of those players have more yards than Josh Allen. So, the passing yards, okay? Passing yards. All of them have more passing yards, whether it's the ones in the 3,700 and up group or the 4,000 and up group. They all have more numbers, passing yards than Josh Allen. Okay. Lamar, Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, Bo Nix, Sam Darnold. Aaron Rodgers. All of those players have more touchdowns than Josh Allen. Okay? All right, cool. Saquon Barkley has 2,000 rushing yards. On top of the 13 touchdowns, Saquon Barkley has the new single season record of 2,000 rushing yards. That's substantial. Do you want to know why? Because no one else has ever done it. That's valuable. That's valuable. Not only is it valuable, it led to a Super Bowl. A Super Bowl championship. Let's go back to the numbers. Because outside of that 2,000 yards, outside of that, Lamar Jackson has 4,172 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 41 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Josh Allen only has 28 touchdowns. Josh Allen only has 3,700 passing yards. That's it. That's it. It took Lamar Jackson only 474 attempts to get 4,000 yards. 4,100, I should say. Yet it took Josh Allen 483 attempts just to get 37. Oh, but let's not stop there, right? Because, oh, yeah, Josh Allen had 531 rushing yards. Come here. Lamar Jackson had 931. He had 931 rushing yards on top of 4,100 passing yards, with 41 passing touchdowns to only 4 rushing touchdowns. Because, mind you, this running quarterback was competing with a 1,900 rushing running back who had 16 touchdowns, by the way. He had 1,900 rushing yards. Now, he is literally right behind Saquon's 2,000. Like, these two were the best running backs in football. And I had Jahmyr Gibbs. And Kyron Williams. I had 2,000-yard runners, 1,400 and 1,200. That was nice, right? Now, here's something that's substantial to Josh Allen, because I don't think he's valuable. Why? Every single year, Josh Allen get beat up. Why? He ain't got a running back. The reason why they can't do, he ain't got a running back. He ain't got this. He ain't got that. He ain't got this. He ain't got that. James Cook, off of only 207 carries and 16 touchdowns, had 1,000 rushing yards. So you have 1,000-yard rushing running back, and you're the most valuable player. Mind you, you all couldn't even have done this if he wasn't there. And you're the one that got MVP. Somebody is not. I don't get the math, bro. You got just. Let's go. We got to look at the math real quick. The math is not mathing, okay? Jalen Hurts only had 2,900 passing yards, right? And only had 18 touchdowns as a quarterback. 5 interceptions. That's amazing. Because he had a 2,000-yard rusher on the team, and they won the Super Bowl. And neither one of you telling me that 2,000-yard rusher was an MVP on. He wasn't MVP honorable. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. So let's go to the Jackson. Let's go to the Ravens, right? You got a quarterback who had 4,100 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 915 rushing yards off of 139 carries and 4 touchdowns himself. Right next to a running back with 16 touchdowns and 1,900 yards. And you're telling me Josh Allen was more valuable when you had Joe Burrow with 4,900 yards, 43 touchdowns, and he only had 9 interceptions? Guys, I'm not saying Burrow is supposed to be up there. I'm not. I'm lining up the numbers and I'm just doing basic math. Guys. That's it. That's it. I mean, I'm not even a golf fan, and I'm taking away because he had 12 interceptions, but he still had 37 touchdowns. He still had 4,600 yards, which all that's changing next year. He's not going to be that high this year. But you guys, you can't show me where Josh Allen is the most valuable player with only 28 touchdowns. Where? Because he had 12 rushing touchdowns? His running back still had 16. I don't understand. Like, you're not doing the math right. Is this because he lost to Patrick Mahomes again? This is why we're giving him this honor? Like, we have to give him something to make this contract worth something, because outside of that, we just have a Geno Smith. I mean, let's be real. And it's not even a rag on Geno. This is to put Geno on a little bit of more of a higher pedestal. Why would I do that? Well, Geno Smith came in here and had, where are you at, Geno? Where you at, Geno? No, I saw you. There it is. Geno had 4,300 passing yards. Now, he had 15 interceptions to 21 touchdowns. That's absolutely horrible. But dude had 4,300 passing yards. It doesn't put him up there. But what it does is it says he can throw better than Josh Allen. So if there are players who are literally doing your job better than you, how are you more valuable? How? I could understand if this season ended, right? Where and your numbers, I'm sorry, for you to be NFL MVP, your numbers have got to be better than Lamar Jackson. Saquon, who literally just broke a single season record of 2,000 rushing yards. It's 205. He set it to 2005. He literally set a new record, and he's not MVP honorable. I don't get it. I really don't get it. So there's nothing for me to congratulate as it pertains to Josh Allen, because I don't think he deserves MVP. I really don't. I don't think he deserves MVP. The true MVP is between Saquon Barkley and Lamar Jackson. Any one of them you want to argue to say that's their MVP, that's fine by me. But don't put Josh Allen in. I don't care what's sitting on his table. Don't put him in no MVP conversation when you talk to me. Numbers don't lie. Math is easy. You have, just by stats alone, right? Lamar Jackson's stats are better than Josh Allen. Joe Burrow's stats are better than Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield's stats are better than Josh Allen. Okay? Derrick Henry's stats are better than Josh Allen. And Saquon Barkley's stats are better than Josh Allen. That's like, come on. Where does he fall into the most valuable player conversation? Where? I'll give you one even better. I'll give you one better. Watch this. Let's see here. Cool. So in the last 2 years, Josh Allen has not thrown over 29 touchdowns. Please tell me what's great about that. He had 4,300 yards last year. Great. You didn't have a running back. You had to throw the ball everywhere. So why didn't you get an MVP then? What makes your numbers so substantial that you're an MVP now? Just I don't get it. I don't get it. Not my cup of tea. Again, for me, it's either Lamar Jackson or Saquon Barkley. Take your pick, but don't come talking to me that Josh Allen is an MVP. I'm sorry. I don't see it. His numbers don't show it to me. The math doesn't add up. No matter what I subtract, multiply, take away, pie size, it doesn't matter. He's not MVP. No way. Okay. All right, so this is a nice quick show for today. Thank you all who came in and joined me. Stay tuned. In a couple weeks, we'll be back for another show. See if we have anything to discuss via the NFL. Seeing if there's any trades. And as March approaches, getting ready for free agent frenzy. And there should be some reports about players knowing they're being released. So we need to pay attention to that. We do have some players we can kind of guess where they're going to go. Like, for instance, Sam Darnold. Where is he going to go? Is he going to be a Raider? Is he going to be a Saint? There's a couple of places he could land. But you're taking Sam Darnold hoping he gives you what he gave you in Minnesota. So that's a bit of a reach. Okay. So, but somebody's going to have to pull that pull. That's the thing. Somebody's going to reach and take. So we'll be here to discuss when that happens. And I'll let you guys know if a move like that is good for Mark or for Sam Darnold, or if it's going to be a bad one for the year. So stay tuned for that. And then again, like I said, we'll be back every other week. But stay tuned on social media to TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to be uploading some highlight reels of this year's FFC season. And if you guys have any advice for Coach, any tidbits you want to give me going into next year, please let me know. If you guys want to know, hopefully, again, with parlaying with Coach, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with Hard Rock because my account is messed up. So can't do anything right now. Can't gamble right now. So, and again, I'm not using Dabble or I don't do FanDuel as it is for anything. And I like DraftKings, but for me, Hard Rock pays out better. So I need them to get their crap together and get my account fixed so I can get back to giving them my money. All right, everybody. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay tuned in a couple weeks. We'll be back for another FFC episode. Coach is out.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.